Welcome, everyone. For this deep dive, we're digging into the story of William Hart Pitsenbarger, based on some really compelling source material about his service.
That's right. It's a story about, well, incredible bravery, obviously, but also about the choices people make under immense pressure.
So let's start back in Piqua, Ohio.
Yeah.
You've got this young guy, William Pitsenbarger. Sounds like he was a bit of a daredevil, even as a kid. Always pushing limits.
Yeah, seems that way. But it wasn't just recklessness, you know. The material suggests he was searching for something more, a sense of purpose, maybe?
And that led him to the Air Force.
Exactly. And not just anywhere in the Air Force. He specifically chose to become a pararescueman, a PJ.
Right, the PJs. That's a seriously elite group, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The training is incredibly intense. They're experts in combat medicine, survival, rescue, you name it. And their whole ethos is captured in that creed.
These things we do that others may live.
Precisely. It's powerful, and it defines everything they do.
So Pitsenbarger, he's an airman first class by 1965, pretty early in his career but already highly skilled, and he finds himself in Vietnam.
Right in the thick of it. Flying combat rescue missions. The source mentions over 300 missions.
300, wow. And these weren't routine flights, were they?
Not at all. We're talking dense jungles, active firefights, landing in minefields sometimes, incredibly dangerous environments day after day.
Just constant exposure to risk. It's hard to imagine.
It really is. And the source notes that even in all that danger, he was known for being calm, a steadying presence for others. That says a lot.
It really does. Okay, so let's get to this specific event near Cam-I. This seems to be the defining moment.
Yeah, Charlie Company, U.S. Army, gets ambushed. Badly. They're surrounded, pinned down, taking terrible casualties.
And rescue helicopters are called in. 2 of them arrive. Pitsenbarger's on one.
Yep.
He sees the situation below.
And he just says, I'm going in.
I'm going in. Just like that.
Yeah.
Knowing what he was descending into.
Exactly. Remember, his job is usually extraction from the helicopter hoist. Going down into that kind of intense ground fire, that was a choice, a voluntary act.
And what happened when he got down there?
Well, it was chaos, but he immediately went to work, treating the wounded, trying to calm the panicked soldiers, organizing casualties for evacuation on the helicopter's hoist.
So he's basically a one-man medical and morale unit in the middle of a firefight.
Pretty much, but then things got worse. The enemy fire became so intense that his helicopter, the one he arrived on, was forced to pull out. It couldn't stay.
Okay. So he had a chance to leave. He could have hooked himself onto the hoist and gone.
Yes, that was his chance to get out. The logical thing, maybe the expected thing, would be to leave with the aircraft.
But he didn't.
He refused. He waved the helicopter off, chose to stay on the ground with the soldiers.
Wow. Why? I mean, what drove that?
The sources point to his commitment. He saw the need was still overwhelming down there. The soldiers needed help. He stayed.
So he stays.
Yeah.
Well, he runs out of medical supplies eventually, right?
He did. And when that happened, he picked up a rifle and started fighting alongside the infantrymen, distributing ammunition, doing whatever he could. As night fell, he was basically the only medic left. Still tending to wounds, still fighting.
It's just an unbelievable level of dedication, putting himself completely on the line.
Tragically, that dedication led to his death. He was killed by enemy fire, shot 4 times, apparently still holding his rifle and his medical kit.
God. But his impact. The survivors.
Yeah, the accounts from the few who made it out of Charlie Company are incredibly powerful. Many of them directly said they owed their lives to him. His actions made that much of a difference.
So he was recognized for this initially.
He was awarded the Air Force Cross posthumously, which is the Air Force's second highest award for valor, a major honor.
But not the Medal of Honor initially.
No, not first. But over the years, people kept pushing, telling his story, gathering more testimony about exactly what happened that day. And finally, in 2000.
He received the Medal of Honor. Posthumous.
That's right, decades later. But it was seen as the full, proper recognition for that level of sacrifice and bravery.
When you step back from the specific events, what's the lasting legacy here?
Well, it's more than just a war hero story, isn't it? It really comes down to his choices. The choice to go in, the choice to stay, the choice to keep serving, even when things seemed hopeless.
Choosing courage, choosing sacrifice, choosing others over himself repeatedly.
Exactly. It's about what it truly means to live that creed that others may live. Not just as words, but as decisive action in the worst possible circumstances.
Yeah, it definitely makes you think.
And maybe that's the final thought for everyone listening. Pitsenbarger's story forces us to consider those moments, big or small, that test us. What does his example tell us about our own capacity for courage, for selflessness, for choosing something bigger than ourselves? It's something worth reflecting on.